Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we're going to put on a full face of the best of 2022. In the past I've listed like 5 things from each category and I really wanted to narrow that down this year. So I decided to just get out the makeup and that forces me to narrow down to one thing per category. Now I may have mentioned a couple of other things, but you know, you can only put on so much makeup, right? So this is what I think made the best of 2022. If you want to see what that is, just keep watching. When it comes to eye primer, I have still not found anything that I like better than the Sigma eyeshadow crayon. It's a primer in Ignite. So I'm sorry, we're going to use it again. I have a couple that aren't this, but I've used enough now to know that this is the primer for me. So over the holiday sales, I actually purchased a few more sticks of it and I can't offer you anything new. My favorite eyeshadow primer is, and I'm not going to say always will be because something may come along, but for now, at this point in my life, I've tried enough of them now to know that this is the one that I pine over in the Glitzy Fritzyville basket. This is the one I wish I was using all the time. So I give it to Sigma, and I don't know if I gave it to Sigma last year or not. I probably did. I may not have even mentioned eyeshadow primer. Some days I'm too busy to put on any eyeshadow at all. But this, I feel like if I can do this right over my eyelids and also in the corner of my eye, and sometimes I'll just go ahead and drag it right down in here, I feel like I'm good to go. I also want to point out that I love this, and I've been loving it ever since they brought it out. I like to take this, and right now I'm mixing the two together, and I will bring it right in here to just kind of brighten up a little bit. This is a product that is supposed to be a corrector. I find I like this corrector more than Charlotte's, and I loved hers. And at first I thought it was all about the shades, but no, this is a more stickier kind of formula, so I don't tend to wipe it right back off again. I like it right in there, and I would, if I was younger, like it under my concealer. But, you know, don't want to be putting too much stuff down under there. I tend to use concealer or foundation, not both. Because I have these on underneath my eyes right now, I want to go ahead and do my eyes, so we're going to move on to that. This year was really wonky with me and eyeshadow. My life changed quite a bit. I mean, this year was quite a bit more about hurrying up and getting out the door, needing to accomplish things and not having as much time to play with my eyeshadows as I like to do. And another thing that happened was this year I started a series called Wasted Again in Glitzy Fritzyville, where the whole purpose is to pick out makeup from my collection, use it for like a month, month and a half, and only that, to try and pan products or use them up and really form an opinion about them. So because of that, I've gotten to know some palettes more intimately than I normally would, but until last month I wasn't so wowed to say this is the best of 2022. However, last month I got excited because of Lisa Eldridge's formula. I bought this one, the Sorcery palette. Well, actually I bought them all, but not all of them. I bought everything I have. All right, so I bought the Sorcery palette and then I couldn't keep my fingers out of it. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit. I think the formula is that great. Love it so much that I went and I paid that price for 2 more. Today we're going to use one of the other ones, so I'm going to give the best eyeshadow palette this year to Lisa Eldridge Sorcery, even though it came in at the end of the year. It's the only thing that's made me go, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to this year. Let's try this one today. We'll just do something really quick. That's one thing I love about the other palette is how quick you can do an eye look. I think I'll try that shade right there. I have had my fingers in them this morning to see, and I'm just going to bring it right here in the crease and see how that goes. This is the lightest shade. It barely showed up on my arm. So that's why I'm using it in the transition. I just want to put something there that has a little bit of something. I just want some powder down here. These shadows are so silky. And I would describe them, the way they look, as like a luxury. Well, obviously it's $68 for this little palette. It definitely is a luxury for me anyway. The look of it is that sophisticated look that I get when I use Tom Ford, Lancome, Charlotte Tilbury. Same brush. I think I'm going to come right down here and come into the crease. Like those other formulas that I just described for you, it doesn't matter if it is not a matte. I can still use it in my crease even at 60, which is how old I am, in case you don't know. I'm trying to do better about telling you information that I frequently leave out because I assume people know it. If you've never been here before, hi, my name is Mary. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. I am 60 years old and I love makeup. I love color. I like that. And, you know, the way I tend to think, there really aren't any rules when it comes to makeup, but I'm going to do a bolder lip today because the lipstick that I picked is a shade of red. So I don't want to get way out there with my eyes today. Not saying there's anything wrong with wearing a really bold eye with a bold lip. I just don't. And let's take my Mel brush from Rephr. It's actually the number 21 from Rephr. I'm going to bring that right in here. I say it's the Mel brush because without Mel Thompson, we wouldn't have it. Yes, mama. Look how beautiful that is. Another thing I like about this palette is I can punch these out and reorganize it, or punch these out and get new ones. So, unlike most eyeshadow palettes that I own, if I use up a color out of it that I love, I have to buy the whole thing again. Not here. I can just buy that shade and pluck it back in there. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to take it and pull it down right here brighter. I really like it. Let's take the Rephr number 20 and come in this shade. It looks like it might be a dark gray. I'm a big fan of gray. I think it still lets us have the drama that we want without being way too, you know, because when you get to be 60 years old, you're walking a real fine line there with being dramatic with black. So gray, I think, is beautiful. I think it's beautiful on anyone, but especially for us mature gals, I think it's really nice that we can get a little more smoky and drama in the eye look without it just being over the top crazy. It's easier to work with too, I think, in case you're not really skilled. All right then, I like that just as much as I do the sorcery, so Lisa Eldridge gets it. Okay, we're gonna need a new one of these real soon. So I give the eyeliner for 2022 is Spiderwebs or Bathwater by Give Beauty. Why? Because I can put it into my tight line. Darn it, I slipped through my lashes and onto my lid. Let's just go ahead and put some on the lid out here since I did that. It stays where you put it. That's why. It doesn't transfer down to my lower in case I want to put a different color down there. Stays all day. Love this formula. I think I am going to run it a little bit right there on the outer. Maybe just for funsies, we'll take Bathwater, which is the blue, and bring it the rest of the way from inner and meet it up with that. Why not? My favorite concealer of the year I give to Dior, even over this one here, which is really great, the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. For me, it works better. The outstanding part is the brush. That's why. The brush just absolutely gets it. Because look, I can just put that little dab right there with this brush where I want it. And then I don't even need to set this one. So I can pat that down on just the dark parts, just where I'm dark, and leave it alone. Am I saying it doesn't crease? No, it does. In a few hours, it will crease a little bit, but I am good doing this and tap it back out. And I think it does a really good job of concealing the darkness and not making it look so cakey underneath my eyes. So that's why Dior gets it for the year. I come up and get in your face this close all the time so that you can see actually what is going on. So I think you can see that what's going on there, right? Always and forever on primer. I think it's always going to be Lancome Le Base Pro. Always. I love that. I'm a silicone kind of girl, but I'll tell you what. Recently, I did this video that I thought what was happening was another product. I thought it was from Westman Atelier, but it wasn't because I did it again. And anyway, I ended up purchasing this by Natasha Denona. Whoa. This product comes in late in the year, but holy schmoly. This is, I guess, skincare too. Oh my gosh, talk about radiant beautifulness. So I used a sample of this, all right, and I thought that this glow, I mean, I was ready to pony up for Westman Atelier because I thought that that lit stick was what did this. And then I didn't use the Natasha Denona, and I thought, you know what, it didn't do that again. You don't suppose that it's this Natasha Denona stuff, do you? The Skinglass? That's what it was. And I love the way this looks on my skin, even if I'm not wearing makeup. I love it. Now I'm going to let that set for a few minutes while we deal with my mascara. Mascara of the year goes to Caliray, and we're going to open this little tiny one because one of the things I'm trying to accomplish this year and next, and hopefully going forward, is to not have 8 mascaras open. This is one of the purposes of the Wasted Again in Glitzy Fritzyville series. I'm not going to open the big one that I bought because I've already got mascara open. But this is the mascara that I have pined for all year. This is the one I fell in love with. It's a tubing mascara and I adore it. They're very easy to get off. Warm water, rub a little bit, the tubes float off of your eyelashes. And you could still use like Bifacil if you wanted to with it. But, you know, a quick shower will have you come out with no mascara. I love a tubing mascara. They don't smudge. You can cry in them a little bit. They don't like run on your face from your sunscreen. So for this year, Caliray gets it with Come Hell or High Water. Probably every one of you know that the foundation of the year for me is by Haus Labs. Only thing is, it's just a teeny weeny, just a half shade maybe. Too dark for me, but I don't care. I love it that much that I go ahead and I use it anyway. But I have put this stuff on with a brush, with a sponge, with my fingers. See? You can just like do this right here. It pretty much blends itself out. I'm going to be real cautious because I've already got my hair done because I did another video where I was like doing my hair. So I don't want to mess that up. I think this stuff looks like skin. It is medium coverage. So this spot is going to peek through, but I don't care. It just makes me look like I have really great skin. I do have good skin. I'm not going to say it's the foundation, but I think it evens out my skin tone so that I look like I have better skin than I do without foundation. If when I watch some other people's bests of 2022, I would be very surprised if other people aren't picking this foundation as their pick of the year. I am going to have to come up here a little bit because like I said, it is just a tiny bit dark for me. And so I have to make sure I'm good and covered. In fact, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to come over my ears and down here a little bit. I am going to set it a little bit in the T-zone, and I think that the best powder this year is by Laura Mercier. It's their new Ultra Blur. I think this one is the most finely milled this year. Even though I did like the look of this, I do have to set that foundation because as the day goes by, it will get too oily for me. Normally I come all over all of my face with powder, but I'm not because the blush and bronzer that I picked for this year, they have creams in them. Both are from Patrick Ta. I don't think this, for sure, maybe not this, was in the declutter because they were in an incoming Glitzy Fritzyville basket. All right, these are part of that basket that are coming in. But this is the Patrick Ta Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo in She's Statuesque. Some of you are probably really shocked that I'm not giving this to Charlotte Tilbury, but I did last year. I feel like I should pick something else. And when it comes down to the cream product, I think that Patrick does a super good job. I'm going to use this Refer 05 brush, and I know that he says use powder then cream, and I always remember this because it's the exact opposite of what I do. I need the cream to go on and then set it with the powder. That's what I do. And I just take a little bit and dab it right on my cheeks, just a tiny bit of that cream. And I think it is so natural. Now I'm going to take my finger in there and I'm going to bring it right here on my nose. And I think if you have a problem with bronzers, especially cream ones, Well, this is actually supposed to be a contour, but I can use it as a bronzer. I think this one is like foolproof. You can do it. Then I just tap, barely tap, and set it with the powder. But I think it looks really, really beautiful. Doing the Wasted in Glitzy Fritzyville basket has gotten me to the point where I just absolutely am turning into a lover of cream blush. And I give it to this for the best because this is great for everyone. If you like cream, it's here. If you like powder, it's here. You got 3 different ones to choose from. I'm just going to take and come right into this one here, just the slightest bit, right? And then right on top of my cheekbone, I'm just painting it on. Just, oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. Now this you can get out of hand with pretty quick if you're not careful. I mean, you'll have this a very, very long time. Totally worth the money. But if you are not like a brush girl, well, you can use this with a brush. But if you just want to quickly put something on your fingers and it's a lot more forgiving, this by Laura Mercier, this is a moisturizing blush. This is really, really good. This is probably what's responsible for me starting to like cream. But Patrick Ta, I love it. I love what he can do with creams and powders. And then just barely tap into that powder and I can blend those two together. Brow product of the year is probably going to shock the crap out of you guys. And a lot of you won't like it because you won't like powder, but it's from e.l.f. I find that I can do a very quick, natural, more natural looking brow using this, and as you can probably guess, it's because of that. This tinted brow wax, load up the brush with it, and then I just bring it to the front of my brow, and you really can't get too much of it, I don't think. I think it looks so natural. If I need something very quick and I'm having one of those days where like I've done all my makeup and I really don't want to mess up my brows, that's the thing I do. I'm going to do 2 different brow products, even though it's probably going to look funky, but I also want to pick a pencil because I know that many, many people don't want to use this. Not because it's e.l.f., because it's a powder wax duo, and some people have a problem with that, but I'm telling you, this is so easy to do, and I think that that looks like a totally natural brow. Look how fast I did that. My favorite pencil was hard because I wanted on one hand to give it to Charlotte Tilbury because I love how tiny it is and the angle on it, and truly if you get a refill, then, you know, it's not really that expensive. But I just love the Laura Mercier brow pencil because it's an actual pencil that you can sharpen. It's got a spoolie on the end, sharpen it up. Now I know there are others out there, but I love this formula and how easy it is to use. You just come up to the front, draw your little hairs, try to make it match the other brow even though the color is not the same. Come through the brow, and then you can just sharpen it again if it's not sharp enough for you. No nonsense. It's just a wonderful brow pencil. So which do you like better? The brow pencil or the powder? And I'm going to try and make them look more the same. Or the brow powder and wax. For me, it's not about the cost. It's about what it looks like and how great it is. I mean, I do tend to like more high-end products. I feel special. I feel like I've waited and attended to other people's needs enough that now I'm 60 and I want to wear this. But I can't deny a product that, and you know, this past year, I think e.l.f. has got a lot of them. This is the same thing I just keep using over and over and over. Year after year, I still give it to benefit. I do try other brow setters, but I've not found one yet. Maybe one day I will, but not yet. Depending on the brow product I'm using, sometimes I will do this before I even put on the brow pencil. Like I'll set my brows and then just skate over the top of this product with the brow product, depending on what it is. So I really like that. I think the only thing left is the mouth. And you know, I haven't watched my video from last year, so I don't know. I may have picked BK Beauty for the lip pencil last year too. If it's not BK Beauty, I definitely want to have Laura Mercier's pencil. I like Laura Mercier's formula. It's kind of like Lancome's where it's dry, but not so matte that, I mean, it does what it's supposed to. It's not so creamy that it runs all over the place, right? Now these, it could get that way, okay, because these are pretty creamy. But I like the slant and how little it is for BK Beauty. And I forgot to wipe off my balm. So I hope this don't run. Anyway, I like how you can get in there with that little tiny tip. And it helps you sketch out. And these pencils actually tend to have a little bit of a staining property to them. So a lot of times if I'm in a hurry, this becomes my lipstick too. I just color in my mouth. This is a pretty close shade to the lipstick that I'm going to put on, but not exact. So I usually do fill in my mouth first. That way when my lipstick wears off, I'm not having a problem. This particular one is Alter Ego. I'm not saying that this is the favorite shade of the BK Beauty. My favorite shade is Sweet Pea, but that is definitely the lip liner that I love. The lipstick that I picked because I've never picked it before. So I know I didn't accidentally say this again last year. And that's Lancome. All right, because I love Lancome's lipstick, but it's a little bit too creamy. This year they brought out a new, now this is the special shade around Valentine's Day that they had. And it used to be a heart. It used to be shaped like a heart. You can see it a little bit, but I've worn it off. This is more matte. So it doesn't run all over my mouth. But it's not so matte that it's not comfortable. Personally, I think it would be really hard to come up with a matte formula that is not too dry. But I really like that. And I also have to give a mention, because I love this formula so much and they just brought out new shades. If you don't like to wear lip liner, Sigma makes a very unique and beautiful lipstick. Let me just pick one out of here and show you what I'm talking about. With a Sigma lipstick, this tube doesn't move. The base turns. And the reason is because of this teardrop. See that? Therefore, it always keeps its point. And you can just put it up, come up to your Cupid's bow, drag down, doo, doo, doo. And these are beautiful lipsticks, not as expensive as a Lancome, more creamy than this, but not as creamy as the regular Lancome, I think. For setting spray, you know my favorite is Charlotte Tilbury. I love this stuff so much. I've gone through 2 full bottles and a half bottle. I love it. Purchased it again, got a whole new bottle in there. But also, this year, there's an option from the drugstore I really, really love. It is Physicians Formula, The Essence of Healthy. You can use it under your makeup, with your skincare, over it. We're going to use this today. This is my new bottle. I'm going to have to mark it somehow because I put my Lancome setting spray in this empty bottle. And then I bought a new one and I'm like, oh, you idiot. How are you supposed to know which one is Lancome and which one? Right. But anyway, I really love it. It does hold your makeup on. It has skincare properties to it and it's really good. All right then, I'm going to get my jewelry on and back up out of your face and I'll be right back. What makes the best of 2022 for you? Maybe it's something I need to try. Okay? All right then. I want you guys to know, if you don't already know, that you are the best part of the Fritzy family. And that if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
Actually, they're... Peter! Oh, God! How many times have I said your name? How many times do I have to scream your name?
There you are, Emily. How many times do I have to scream your name?
Peter! Actor more than I like Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's what this eyeshadow is. Oh, good. Can't come for me now, can you, Campbells? It's nice. I really... My nose itched in there. I wasn't picking boogers. I went and purchased this serum primer. McDonald's? Really? Leave me alone. Why is McDonald's talking to me on my watch? McDonald's is your kind of place. They serve you rattlesnakes, French fries between your toes, hamburgers up your nose. Last time that I was there, they burnt my underwear. McDonald's is your kind of place. Ba-do-do-do-do. Boom! If you leave me alone, I won't do that to you. Yeah. Now, I'm always going to be a little crazy because I'm going insane. I'm sorry, I was about ready to go into a Waylon Jennings song and then I forgot which one it was. I've always been crazy, it's kept me from going insane. I'll take this off. Do you hear it? It's like a helicopter coming to get me. They're coming to take me away. Aha, they're coming to take me away. I will put it on in the house. I will put it on with a mouse. I will put it on out in the yard. I'll put it on at Kroger. It's here. If you like powder, it's here. Gosh darn.